Ladies and gentlemen, I want to apologize. In the process of trying to turn on the video light so that we make sure that you get a good picture of this good and dark and handsome young man, that I made an accident and hit the wrong button. So there'll be two sessions again this week, and hopefully you'll listen to a part two. Part two is most important. It's not pretty, but it's most important. Let me begin by saying that I had a friend of mine who sent me some just very disturbing statistics on what's going on in one of our elementary schools. And then I spent the weekend investigating another school that hopefully Reverend Baxter and I will be attending on tomorrow. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I got from the young lady. It talks about, hang on just 1 minute. It's one of our elementary schools. To those in my hometown, they'll know the name of the school, which is Alexander Elementary School. And Alexander Middle School, I'll get it right, it's a tongue twister, Alexander Elementary School. This is the figures from last year. There was only one black classroom teacher. One black classroom teacher in a 65% African American school population. And at this elementary school, in the backyard of the black community, one black classroom teacher. She was in the third grade. Ladies and gentlemen, those of you who have any knowledge know that from K to until you're 6 years old, those are the most formative, molding, critical years. And ladies and gentlemen, my question is, the good old boys, the superintendent, and principals know that if you want to stagnate a student, stagnate that student in elementary school, because you can do whatever you can do in middle school and high school to try to make some changes. But the real changes need to take place in Head Start, kindergarten, and 1 through the third grade. By the time he get in the fourth grade, he's pretty well set. You can take him to a psychiatrist. You can take him to a behavior manager, put him in the behavior management classes. You'll be able to alter it a little bit, but the bulk of it, you will never be able to change. That's why you heard the statistic, start reading to a child even before the child is born. So you got those smart mothers. They will begin to read to their child while the child is inside them. Ladies and gentlemen, statistics say that works. And when they get here and they in the crib, continue to read to them. Kindergarten, continue to read to them. First grade and kindergarten, start teaching them how to read, teaching them word recognition and letters and what have you. It works, ladies and gentlemen. That's how certain kids get ahead of certain kids. Now, look at this. Kids saw no black teachers in pre-K, in kindergarten, in first grade, in second grade, only one in third grade. Now, imagine this. For a moment, change out your white skin and join me in the black skin and the Hispanic kids and the Indians and the multicultural kids, just for a few moments, and then you can put your white skin back on. Imagine that if you was in kindergarten and you went all the way to the third grade and you did not have a teacher that looked like you, but all of a sudden in the fourth, fifth, and sixth grade, you start seeing people that look like you and start to sit down, you're not going to do this, we're going to do this. You will be somewhat confused. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe with all my heart that a white teacher can teach a black child and that a black teacher can teach a white child. But ladies and gentlemen, we want to be fair. We want to make sure that the school mirrors the community, mirrors the population. If the white kids want to get up and go to private school, that's the parents and the kids' business. But then you can't leave those who are African American kids behind to be taught nothing about white students who are just coming out of college with no experience, no understanding of the culture. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't go to Japan And I think I was an excellent administrator. And I think that I was bagged and anointed by God to do it. I just don't believe that I can go to Japan unless God anoint me again and go to a Japanese class and start to teaching them and telling them what to do and expect them to look at me. First thing is that I don't speak nothing but English. First thing I'm going to be just speaking down to them and they're going to be saying, what are you talking about? They're not going to understand. Well, by the same way, those black kids see white teachers and that's all they see. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you some statistics. There are schools in my hometown and yours too. And if you say it's not, I call you a lie. Ladies and gentlemen, every community across the United States, they have the visions of these good old boys and the corrupt people to make sure that we educate a certain group of people, undereducate other people, build prisons for them, and allow some of them to even kill themselves. Don't tell me that they don't understand that. You mean that we can't stop the drug war? Ladies and gentlemen, they don't want to stop the drug war because some of the big boys and the good old boys are making money off of it. They just getting a nickel and dime guy. That's why the prisons are loaded with people who just had a dime bag doing a look. They did not want to go after the kingpin, ladies and gentlemen, because then you have to start bringing the lawyers in, the judges in, the preachers in. Ladies and gentlemen, the priests in. They're doing just a lot of the stuff that the average person is doing. Not all of them, but some of them are. Your educational background, your status, who your mom and dad is, don't determine who do right and who do wrong. Right and wrong is in all races and nationalities and ethnicities and backgrounds and what have you. But ladies and gentlemen, at this particular school, they have 0 blacks in the 4th and the 5th grade. Only 1 black classroom. Ladies and gentlemen, that's pathetic. And then you sitting here, I don't understand what Mr. Merriweather talking about. It's just not making no sense. It doesn't make any sense because you're too ignorant to understand it. And they're playing on your ignorance. They're saying Merriweather is right. That's why they told the superintendent in my hometown, stop Mr. Merriweather from going into those schools because he's learning too much. Stop Mr. Merriweather from talking to those people. They'll begin to listen to him. It's the same thing that Master did in slavery. Find out who doing what. Go tell them that. Then they would hang this black out where everybody could see him, tar and feather. So the rest of them go, ooh, don't do that, Master will get us, Master will kill us. And some of you have that same mentality, sitting up here with a master's degree, sitting up here a pastor of a big church, sitting up here on the Chamber of Commerce, in the Rotary Club, in these clubs, member of this, member of that. Just because you can be with some of your brothers and sisters that don't look like you think that that's prestigious. If it was so prestigious, why are they not helping you in this struggle? Ladies and gentlemen, give me a break. I had many friends, white and black friends. But when I began the struggle and the fight to save those children in public education, I lost a lot of my white friends and I lost some of my black friends. I lost some of my black friends because the white friends told them not to be with me. Then some of them were just too ignorant to understand what I was going on. I was talking over their head. They didn't understand it. I was a threat to them as well. So, hey. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to continue this struggle. Dr. Baxter and I and the Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord only picked 12 disciples. Why would I need a whole band of you all? If I can get just Dr. Baxter and a few, we're going to continue the struggle. Because I know I've been blessed. And I'm going to continue to struggle till God call my name for me to come home. So if you out there thinking, well, this will go away, it's just a fad, it's just a phase that Mr. Merriweather is going through. He's going through middle-age crisis. I'm not going through a middle-age crisis. I'm coming after you. Oh, you can count on that. I'm going to continue to go. I'll be out there tomorrow asking questions and demanding answers. You can keep on sitting at home and grinning and driving your little new car and everything, and then you end up and you can't take that BMW and that Lexus to heaven with you. It'll have to. You may be able to drop it in hell, but you won't be able to take it to heaven with you. You won't be able to take your Mason, your Goldsmith cards with you. You won't be able to take that beautiful home with the picket fence and 2 kids. You won't be able to take that to heaven with you. Everybody gonna have to respond and stand on their own. But ladies and gentlemen, that's one of the things. Now that's Alexander. Now keep in mind that this is now I'm gonna give you a statistic for this year. There is one Asian child at the same school, Alexander, where there's only one black school teacher. There's 347 black students, 20 Hispanic, 14 multicultural, 31 whites. 31 white kids in this school where there's only one black. And there are 347 black and only one black teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, the total number of students is 413 this year. But they only have one black teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, if there was a reverse and Alexander had 347 white students and there was only one white teacher and the rest of the teachers was black, do you believe that the white community will put up with that? If you do believe it, you're crazier than you look. But they are saying we will accept it because they'll have master's degrees and doctor's degrees. They'll be belonging to certain churches. Their pastor won't even say nothing. Their organization leadership won't be doing anything. They're not going to do anything. And so we might as well just go on and make sure that Megan and Todd can get out of school and have jobs teaching the Negro kids. Because that's what it's going to boil down to. And I told you that this show was not going to be pretty. So I'm not here to try to please you. I'm here to bring you the facts. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, here's another thing that I investigated on my own. I looked at the Montessori program. And I wish that you would be smart and go and Google the Montessori program. It's very interesting. Listen, there's only 200 in the United States. There are 7,000 Montessori programs nationwide. But 200 of them are in the United States. Let me give you a brief definition. Montessori is designed to help children reach their full potential at their own unique pace. Research studies show that Montessori children are well prepared for later life academically, socially, and emotionally. Did you give me that time? The Montessori program that we have in Madison County, we have 2 in Madison County. They're serious. Our first Montessori program was over on Chester Street for those who live in the Jackson area. And it was across from Jacor, which is a drug treatment place. It was down the street from the projects where the dominant blacks was living. The white says, no, we're not going there. We're not going there. We're just not going. So they started the program, and a lot of African-American kids was benefiting from this program. What did I say the Montessori program do? It will prepare you for later life, academically, socially, and emotional. And they said, well, we can't have all of those black kids academically and socially and emotionally strengthened because they'll be competing with our kids. So a meeting was called. They even had one of the best principals that Jackson, Tennessee, and state of Tennessee, and probably perhaps the world ever had. Miss Virginia Stockton Crump was over that program. They had a meeting and says, well, we need to close that school down. And some said, well, what will the black community say? Nothing. They have a few houses, few cars, and they get to go to Goldsmith. Some of them get to live next door to us. And they won't say nothing. They just, they're educated, but they don't know what to do with it. Some of them. It's only a few, and there's only a few Meriwethers in Jackson, Tennessee. There's only a few James Baxters in this. It's just so few of them that the mass of them is not back in Meriwether and Baxter. So we can move in and do what we want to, so they did. They closed down the Montessori program. the program that prepares students for later life academically, socially, and emotionally. In addition to scoring well on a standard test, the Montessori children rank above average on certain criteria as following: turning in the work on time, listen attentively, using basic skills, showing responsibility, showing enthusiasm for learning and adapting to new situations. There are 4,000 Montessori programs in the United States. I think I told you that there's 200. I stand to be corrected. 7,000 worldwide. 7,000. Why is not more black kids in the Montessori program? Ladies and gentlemen, we just sleep at the wheel? Did we just go to school and just get an education, got a degree, and don't know what the hell to do with it? What the hell is wrong with us? I used to wonder why Donald Trump says, "What the hell you got to lose?" Well, at first I said, that's not becoming of a president. But since I'm not running for president, I'm going to say what Donald Trump said. What the hell you black people got to lose standing up fighting for public education for all children, and in particular your children? What the hell you got to lose? Listen, ladies and gentlemen. So they move the Montessori program. Oh, Mr. Edwards, please, don't tell them the truth. Don't tell them. They moved it to Bemis. They moved it to South. Took it east and took it all the way across the city to the south. Mr. Edwards, please don't tell them where they put it. They put it in a predominant white community. Now, what did I tell you? It was in a black community. They put it in a white community. Let's see. Bear with me, because I just got so much. Another thing that I really like about it is that the ratio of teachers and students are 17 to 1. Ladies and gentlemen, that is marvelous. That is wonderful. My question is, why is that more parents are not putting their children in the Montessori program? We have two. One is the Montessori Center of Jackson. Then we got the Bemis Montessori program, Montessori Elementary School at Bemis. Then we have one further out. This one here, the next one is further out than that. Now, Montessori programs can also be considered private to a degree, but lots of the public school system have Montessori program within it. So stay with me. Now, to those who charge tuitions, look at this. Infant to toddlers, $4,200. Age 3 to 6, 3 hours a day, $8,850. Ages 3 to 6 for 4 hours a day, $4,500 plus. Ages 3 to 6, 6 hours a day, $5,875. Ages 6 to 9, $6,690. Ages 9 to 12, the Montessori program will start at being a toddler and bring it all the way to high school. Interesting, ladies and gentlemen, that's why we didn't sleep. Ages 12 to 15 and 15 to 18, $8,170 plus. Also, keep in mind, there are many Montessori programs in public schools which doesn't charge a tuition. The one that I'm talking about that they moved out into the predominant white community is in the public school system. Get this, ladies and gentlemen, paid for by all people's dollars, but in particular, it's in a predominant 65% school system. Black people are paying for more white kids to be educated more so than African American kids with your educated self. Are you crazy? I might have a little craziness about me. I'm just crazy about what I do for public education. I'm not crazy about children excelling and being all that they can be. But what the hell are you crazy about? Nothing? You didn't know that right here in your hometown, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about in Jackson, Tennessee, but the same, you fill in the blank, is happening in your hometown. It's a sad thing, ladies and gentlemen. In the Montessori program at Bemis, 75.2% of the students are white. Now, when it was in the black community, it wasn't like that. When the white kids' parents said that they are not coming, and they make provision. They closed down a high school in my hometown because the white kid said they weren't coming. When they created the medical school at JCM before they closed it, the white kid says, we're not coming. Dad, I'm not going. And Dad got busy talking to county commissioners and talking to board members and talking to the superintendent. We need to do something because my child not coming. They said, well, no problem. We'll take the medical program, and they gave it to the South Side High School out south. Ladies and gentlemen, are we just stupid? Or we just don't give a damn? Or we just don't know what to do? But then call me. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a sad day. It's really sad that we have a school. Let me give you another example. The Early College High School in my hometown. The same kids, Megan and Todd and Jennifer. Dad, we're not going. Dad said, I have to go back to them corrupt politicians and the good old boys and try to see what we can get done. So what did they do? They wouldn't go. They said, we're not going to the one that you have out north because it's too many of those kids out there, Dad. And they put $1 million in the one on the campus of the school that they closed. And the white kids say to their dad, Dad, you just don't get it. I'm not going to that school either. You're going to have to bring it out south. We're not going. And then they uprooted and they said, well, do you think the blacks going to holler? They so intelligent. You know, you can be so educated, you're an educated fool. We don't know what to do. Leadership. In the complex where I live, and thank God I'm about to get the hell out of here. In the place I live, when I drove into church, kids was playing basketball and doing everything. If a child does not grow up knowing God, then there's no other one to know but the devil. And then we wonder, well, why are they cutting up and going on in school? These are white kids and black kids, because in the complex I live, they got both of them. And there are some Mexicans over here, some Hispanics too, and some other country kids. And I look at the parking lot when I leave, the same cars have not moved when I came back from church. If the parents are not in church, the children not in church, what make you think they're going to go to public school and act like they got good sense? Ladies and gentlemen, listen, I got to get out of the clock on the wall says, it's time for me to go. And if I left something out, I'll try to bring it up last week. But we'll be at Alexander School tomorrow. And we're going to go to the Montessori program and find out what the hell is going on. And I'll bring that to you next week. But ladies and gentlemen, as I try to wrap up and get out of here, it doesn't make any difference. If I keep bringing it to you every week and you're not getting any smarter and you're not doing you fill in the blank about it, then you will continue just to be you fill in the blank again. Sorry, in the class, we have to do a lot of fill in the blanks. But I can't spell out everything to you because some of you won't learn after I finish. But ladies and gentlemen, I wish that you would join me. I have been your host, Morris Merriweather, the author of Enough is Enough. Public education has spiraled out of control. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the host of Straight Talking Room 503. I'm not going to make it pretty because some of it is not pretty. If I find some prettiness, I'll deliver it to you. But otherwise, I'm going to bring it to you raw and tell you the unadulterated truth week after week. Call a friend and tell a friend. Professor Merriweather is telling it straight. And it's time we get up off our you fill in the blank and do something about it. Because they're making a you fill in the blank out of us. And it's time. There are things that we can do. It's called economic. If you want to bring the bus strike that Rosa Parks, the Honorable Rosa Parks, played her role in, the people bought the bus system to their knees. We got to quit buying all these loud, you fill in the blank clothes driving all these too expensive cars that you can't afford, maxing out these credit cards, living in neighborhoods where you can't afford to live, and start doing something for the good of all kids. Join me, ladies and gentlemen, next week as we again will talk about public education. I hope you will join me. But if you don't, I'm going to continue to fight for your nieces, your nephew, your cousins, your friends, your enemies. Dr. Baxter, I know you're out there. Thank you for all that you do for public education. The teachers who are out there doing the best that they can to make sure all kids are educated, I thank you for what you do. To those principals out there that are doing the best that you can and all that you can do. To Mr. Bob Alvey, that is the new board chairman of the Madison County School System. We got someone that's fairer now. And so my hat's off to you, my brother. You do not see race. You see people. You and I had our disagreement. But my brother, I respect you because you're doing the will of the Father. To the others, I suggest you get it right. It's never too late to repent because you will pay a hell of a price for neglecting the children in the school system. To those who are outside the Madison County area, it's time to get it right, brother. The same thing is happening in your hometown. You need to start taking a look at it and make sure you're doing all that you can for children. Till next week, I'll see you there. Don't be late. Don't you get marked absent because we're not going to give you a review and you missed it. So, ladies and gentlemen, take care.